Jai Hind. My name is Anju. I'm from Information Technology Department in Ajay Kumar Garg Engineering College. So today we will talk about algorithm, that is PCA algorithm, a principal component analysis. First, we will understand why it was introduced. So for this, we need to go for a topic that is called dimension reduction. As dimension reduction is what? It is a process of converting the data set having vast dimension into a data set with the lesser dimension. Means we will take an example like this one. There are two dimensions as we can see, and we will try to reduce the dimension so that we can process the data. It ensures that convert the data set conveys similar information concisely. As we know, we are going from 3-dimension to 2-dimension or 2-dimension to 1-dimension. We are reducing the dimension. There is a probability or it happens that we are losing the data. But we are losing those kind of data which is not relevant for us. Okay, so we will consider on that also. जैसे कि we can take an example. There is a graph x1 represent the measurement of several objects in centimeter, and there is a x2 that represent the measurement of several objects in inches, and these are the inputs we have taken, and the graph is drawing. Okay, so we will understand that it is 2-dimension. We have taken 2-dimension and we will convert it into 1-dimension. That is called dimension reduction. Now, in machine learning, both these dimensions convey the similar information. As I told you, if we are reducing the dimension, the data which is relevant should not be lost. Okay, if it is losing the data, it is losing the meaning of the data, means it is not done in a correct way. So we may need to make sure that using both the dimension convey the similar information. Also, they introduce a lot of noise in the system. As we know, whenever there is a data we are receiving online or through the system, there is a probability that we are also processing the data which is not relevant. That is called noise, means unwanted data, right? So there are so many data. If we are reducing from 2 to 1, we make sure that we are reducing most of the part of the noise. Okay, so it is better to use just 1 dimension. So it means that in machine learning we are talking about that from the 2-dimension we are going for 1-dimension and we are reducing the noise. Now what happens using dimension reduction techniques? Basically we convert the dimension of data from 2-dimension, which is x1 x2, to 1-dimension, and we are giving it a name of z1. Okay, so this is the data. And previously, as I shown you this graph, that is x1 and x2, I have applied an algorithm which is reducing the dimension, and I'm going for this 1-dimension. As I told you, this 1-dimension should convey same information which is relevant for my motive. Okay, then it will be acceptable. Otherwise, we will use different algorithm, because as we are converting, we should not lose the important data. So that is called Z1. It makes the data relatively easier to explain. As we need to explain 2-dimension in a system, now we need to explain in the 1-dimension. It will be simpler and it will be easier. Now, what will be the benefit? It compresses the data. As the data is compressed, it will take less space. So, storage space requirement will be reduced. It reduces time required for the computation. As we are processing 2-dimension and now we are processing 1-dimension, so it's obvious that the processing time will be less. And it eliminate the redundancy of the features. Means those data which are in a repetitive form or which is repeating itself again and again, we will reduce those kind of data. Okay, suppose there is a x1 value and it is being repeated by 25 times, right? The same data is being repeated 25 times. So we will try to use x1 1 time or a 2 time as per the requirement. Okay, so that is called noise, because redundancy we don't want in our database or in data. We don't want any kind of the ambiguity and the redundancy. So basically from 2-dimension to 1-dimension, we are mostly removing the redundant data. And as we are removing the redundancy, we know when there is no ambiguity, there will be the clarity in the data. So it improves the model performance. The performance will be improved. Now, as we have talked about the dimension reduction, that we are converting from 1 dimension to 2 dimension or 3 to 2 dimension, so on. So we are, reducing the number of dimensions. So we need an algorithm to apply, and in our syllabus we will talk about PCA algorithm. So it is the well-known dimension reduction technique. What it does, it transforms the variable into a set of variable, और उनको हम क्या बोलते हैं? Principal component. These principal components are linear combination of original value and are orthogonal. We will solve a numerical also to understand the concept. The first principal component account for most of the possible variation of original data. As I told you, we will not lose our original data. We will try to reduce the noise data. The second principal component does its best to capture the variance in the data. As we will solve the numerical, there are steps we need to follow. So there we will compute the covariance also. Okay, so there can be only 2 principal component for 2-dimensional data set. So there will be 2 principal component, and we will select one component, and how we will do it, we will solve a numerical and we will learn about it. Now, when we are going for the PCA algorithm, there are total 7 steps. In the first, we will get the data. So I will show you the different type of input we can get for the PCA algorithm, and then we will compute the mean vector, which will be represented by mu. Okay, and mu. And in the third step, what we will do, the mu we have computed, we will subtract the mean from the given data, and now the given data we will have, we will do the subtraction, and then we will count the we will calculate the covariance matrix, and then eigenvalue and the eigenvector for that covariance matrix. And then when we are doing the covariance matrix, we will get 2 component, and we will select 1 or 2, it depends what our requirement is, and on basis of that we will derive the new data set, and that data set will be our reduction dimension. We will represent that. Now, we will solve a numerical. So we will understand those 7 steps. I told you these are the 7 steps. So we will one by one implement these steps to understand what is PCA algorithm. So there I have given you a problem, and the same problem I have represented in the 3 way. Means it can be given in any 3 form. It could be that you are given the data in this form, that there is a 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and there will be the semicolon here and this. So it means this is 1 data set and this is 2. We can say x1, x2 or x or y, whatever you want to call it, you will take the 2 variables. Okay, so we have 2 data sets. Or it could be that you are given in the form of this. So this will be x1 and x2 or x or y. Okay, and this is x1, x2, x1, x2, x1, x2 and x1. Or it can be more refined, that it is given in the form of the class 1 and class 2. Now we will understand how we will solve it. Okay, so don't get confused if you are getting either in this form or in this form. Okay, you need to apply the PCA algorithm. So you this is 2, 3, 4 and then 5, 6, 7. It will go like this. Okay, so first step, as we will go back, get the data. So we will get the data. So the solution will be like this. So as you can see, 2, 1, or from this 2, 1, or from this 2, 1. Okay, so we are representing 2, 1, x1, x2 will be 3, 5. 3, 5 is how? This one and this one. If we are going here, it is giving direct, or if we are going here, so it is 3, 5. Then x3 will be 4, 3. So here 4, and in the relevant space, that is 3, and here we will go, it is given direct, and 4 and 3. Now we will go for the next, that will be 5, 6. So here you can see 5, 6. And we will show it in the form of our matrix. So that is the given feature vectors are. We will represent, we are getting the data in a correct form. It doesn't matter in what form it is given, you need to first represent it into this form. Now, the second step was compute mean vector. We need to find out mu. So, we will go for the second step. In the second step, we will calculate mean vector. Mean vector is what? We will add every value of x and y, as here it is given. This one, if we will say x and this is y, so x1, x2, x3, x4, x5, x6. So total number, n value is 6. We have total input is 6. So it will be divided by 6, and then the y value, it will be add and divided by 6. So this is what I have done here. So there it is for the first x value, and this is for the second value. That is, we can say mean value or the average value and divided by the n. So this is what I am getting. So the mu vector, the mean vector, the mu is 4.5 and 5. This is the second step. So we got it, the mu value. Now we will go for third step. It says subtract mean from the given data. Now we will subtract this value we have calculated here from our given data set. So it is not complex. X1, if we will go from the x value, we will divide x, and from the y value, we will divide y value. So it is like this: 2 minus 4.5, 1 minus 5. As I will take 4.5 and 5. So we are dividing from the y, that is y, and that is x of this, and we are dividing and we are getting this value. Same we will go for the next one and next one, and we will solve all 6 given data set, and we will represent into matrix form. So the output we are getting is the step 3. Okay. Now we will go for the step 4. Step 4, what we will do? See here, first we have done the data set we have taken, then we found the mean value. Then what we have done, we have subtracted the mean value from the given data. Till here, I hope you understood. Now we need to find out the covariance matrix. For this, we need to apply this one formula. Step 4. We will calculate the covariance matrix. This is the summation. Summation means we will take the sum. Right? So what we will do? Xi means x1 minus mu, xi minus mu ka transpose, and n. So this is the formula we need to apply to find out the covariance. So let's find out, and we will name it m. Okay. So here it is x1 minus mu. So we are applying this x1 minus mu we are given. We already have found it. See here, x1 minus mu. So we can take this value directly, this one matrix, because this part we have done, and then we need to transpose. Transpose is what? Convert rows in the column or column in the rows. Okay. So this is our x1 and x2, x3, x4, x5 and x6. Okay. So this step we already have done. So we can use that. We are using it. Minus 2.5 minus 4, and then its transpose. We will do the multiplication of the matrix, and this is what we will get. Okay. For the x2 also, we already have found it. The value minus 1.5 and 0. Same, you can see here, minus 1.5 and 0, and we will take the transpose. Same, you can see here, m2 and the transpose. This, we will do the multiplication and we will get this one. Okay. Same we will apply for all 6 different data set, and we will get m1 to m6 covariance value. Okay. Now covariance matrix we got it. Now we need to find out the mean value. So what we will do, these matrix, this is x1, x2, x3, sorry, m1, M2, M3, M4, M5, M6. As we know the mean, how to find out the mean, we will sum all M1 plus M2 plus M3 plus M4 plus M5 plus M6 and divided by total number of n, means we have give, that is 6. So we will divide by 6. So same I have done here, 1 by 6, and we have added the matrix value of all 6. Okay, and then this is the output. So we got a covariance matrix. So we can see how much we have done till 4. Now in the step 5, what we need to do? We need to find out eigenvector and eigenvalue of the covariance matrix. Let's do it. Till here, I hope you understood how we have done. Now, we will calculate the eigenvalue or eigenvector of the covariance matrix. So, first thing is, lambda is an eigenvalue for a matrix M if it is a solution of the characteristic equation. How we will find out? M minus lambda I, this is our identity matrix. As we know, we have matrix of 2 by 2. So, we will use the identity matrix of 2 by 2. How we do it? Diagonally, we will have the value, and apart from that, all other value will be 0. This is called identity matrix. As we know, like this one also, 0, 1, 1, 0. Like diagonally there will be the value, and all other element will be 0. Okay. So what we will do, we need to find out this equation to find out the lambda value, which is our eigenvalue. Okay. So M is what? M we have find out here. This is our capital M. Okay. So we will put the value of M here. We have put it. Lambda we need to find out and multiply by our identity matrix. Identity matrix is this. So when we will multiply the lambda, so here it will become lambda. If we will multiply lambda with the 0, it will be 0, right? So this is, and when we will solve it, we are getting this. Now we know we can solve it using equation, and this is the equation we will get, and here this equation, final equation we will get, and here when we will solve, we will get the value of eigenvector. Okay. So eigenvalue we are finding out when we are solving this quadratic equation. When we solve this, we are getting two values. One is 8.22 and one is 0.38. So I can say this is lambda 1 and this is lambda 2. So when these kind of values we are getting, we always focus on the larger value. So as we can see, it is 8.22 and here is 0.38. So it is very small value, and so here we will ignore this value. The small value compared to first eigenvalue is very small, so we can ignore it. So second eigenvector can be left out. Okay, don't get confused. Whenever we are getting two values, we will take the largest value. Here it is 8.22, and as we compare lambda 2 with it, it is very small, so we will leave it. Okay. Now, eigenvector corresponding to the greatest eigenvalue is the principal component for that given data set. What we will call it? That the principal component we have found it, which is 8.22. Now, in reference to lambda 1, we find the eigenvector. We have found eigenvalue. Now we will go for the eigenvector. Here again, the formula we will use, mx equals to lambda x. M is our covariance matrix. X eigenvector we need to find, lambda our eigenvalue. I hope there is no confusion. So we will put matrix, we have found it. We will take this x. As it is the matrix, how many rows? 2. So x1, x2, 0.822 is the lambda value, and x1, x2. Here also we will solve, and when we will solve it, we will get these two equation. And when we will solve it, we will get the value of equation of x1 equals to this equation we will get 6, 9, x2. So eigenvector, what will be the, we will put from the value, and x1, x2 we will get 2.55 and 3.67. We will put and we will get the value. These are our eigenvector. Now what we will do? We have this. Okay, this is the final eigenvector. But here we have this equation. When we are putting value and we are getting output, we will draw the chart also. x1 equals to 0.69 x2, and it is our projection direction. It is our reduced dimension. So this is the final graph, and this is the final principal component. So this is how we solve our PCA algorithm. So let's go for the steps. We will recall. As I have shown you, we can get the data in multiple form. First, we will get the data and we will convert into the desired format. Okay, and then we will count the mu value, means the vector mean value, and then we will subtract it from the given data we have given. So we will subtract from the x2 mu value in the step 3, and then in step 4 we will calculate the covariance matrix, and using those covariance matrix and the mu value, we will calculate, first we will calculate the eigenvalue, and then using that eigenvalue we will find out the eigenvector. And here we will get our principal component, first principal component, and then we will again go for the eigenvector, and there we will get the equation in the form of x1 and x2, means reduced dimension, and then we will put the value and we will draw the new data set, or according to those new data set we will draw our graph. So this is our final result when we are applying PCA algorithm. These are our component and these are the reduced dimension data set, new data set when we applied the principal component. I hope you understood the concept, and this is all about the PCA algorithm, dimension reduction algorithm. Thank you.